Hello, Brookings, Oregon, and the entire other part of the galaxy in our world here on Earth. I am Amanda Whittemore, here on the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program. And we're super thankful to KCIW listeners everywhere in the world. This is a global podcast that reaches all podcast platforms. No pressure, but we're super glad to be reaching out there on all the channels. Also here locally in our Curry County, we air on Mondays and Saturdays. And if you have any questions or you want to join us in the studio, please call 541-661-4098. I will find out who answers that phone as soon as you call. I'm about to call it myself here just to see where exactly that number goes. And if you don't want to do a voice and you want to do a text or email, you can do contact@kciw.org. And we are here to answer majority of your questions, do the best we can. And for those who are just tuning into Quality Living with Peaceful Support for the first time, we are located physically in Brookings, Oregon, the southern coast of this most beautiful, prestigious state, and right at the ocean. And it's a show where we give a couple of minutes of quality to learn about someone, to hear about their experiences, to really kind of just have more than a hi, nice to meet you, bye, okay, yeah, that was a good dinner, thanks. Just the actual a moment to sit down uninterrupted and, pull up a cozy pillow or a nice glass of your favorite beverage and just fully tune in. So thank you, listeners. And oh, yes, thank you for all the donations and all the volunteer time, because this is a fully volunteer donation-based radio station, kciw.org. And today, like right now on our radio program with Quality Living, we have Gabriele Whyard. Hello, Gabriele. How you doing, lady?
Hello, Amanda. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I'm glad to ask. Glad that we have this moment and we both made it to the station, no matter where we all came from. We made it today. Mm-hmm. So thanks for being here in the studio.
Yes, thanks for having me. I almost didn't make it, right? I went to the wrong building.
There's antennas kind of, on a lot of different places, and it's very confusing. So it's very, very normal, actually. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, confusion, but it's okay. We got here.
Yeah, sweet. I'm glad to meet you and learn all about you. Mm-hmm. And our mutual friend of ours said, hey, this sounds like you guys are going to have a good time. So let's hear. My question I ask here on the Peaceful Support program is, how did you get to Brookings? Like, you're in the studio. Some people call in. You're actually here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I came here actually to this area in 2023. To be exactly, it was December 13th, 2023. I had actually left Virginia. I turned 60 on May 8th, 2023. I had lived in Virginia for many years and decided to sell my property, get an RV, and travel across country.
What?
And I had this epiphany of I wanted to be in Southern Oregon. Didn't know anything about Southern Oregon. But when I bought my first RV, the Good Sam people are actually located here, the insurance people, and they told me about different towns. And it was literally, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then a friend of mine has a property or has family in Washington State. So I went kind of that way, and then I just drove down the coast. And then the next thing I knew, I pulled into Gold Beach first, and it was nighttime, about 5:30, and just was drawn to immediately something just kind of happened. Just you just kind of knew an energy was there. And I stayed at a place there called Secret Camp for a month. And then I came here, and I've been here ever since. And decided to make a home here. Yeah.
Wow.
Just
like that.
Just like that, yes. Originally, I'm from Germany. I came here in 1982, so I've traveled throughout the United States, lived in different states, from Texas to California to Virginia to here. Many different industries that I've covered. Most recently, over the last 20 years, I've owned and operated substance use mental health medical practices. And I'm in recovery myself. And that has given me a lot of studies, information, and things around health, mental health, what makes us tick, where we might need to expand and get help and become healthy, but more on the natural path side and really looking at the body as a system, as a whole system, and not just going at it from one modality of treatment, which is what the medical industry likes to do.
Right.
So we miss a lot.
Completely.
When we do that. So that's what in the small summary, I guess I could say.
Right. Yeah. Oh my heavens. Wow. That is really commendable work, especially going through it ourselves and experiencing it and then learning how to articulate it and properly deliver it to others for their well-being is quite an adventure all in itself.
Well, there's a lot to unpack when we're looking at, for example, substance use, mental health. And I don't know what happens to other people, but I know for me, I knew there had to be a cause and effect early on. And I've got about 23 years in recovery, but there was not the information available that even is today. I mean, the younger generation has a lot more therapy available, a lot more, things that are at
Support.
their fingertips. Support.
Yeah,
But
the
also-
proper kind.
To some extent, but also in many cases, there's a lot of information out there, and it's so much information that you don't know what's good information, the right information. For example, ADHD, right, which, by the way, I have. And it's many people have. And the actual struggles and where that came from, it's something called epigenetics. Have you ever heard of epigenetics?
I have heard of it.
Okay. Well, you hear about generational trauma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, epigenetics is in the sense, if you think about it, anything from the outside coming in affects the cells of the body, the DNA, and more specifically the RNA, which then is your messenger to your brain, which tells the system and the cells how to behave.
Right.
So it literally changes gene expression. That's actually any illness, whether that's diabetes, cancers, whatever. In the simplest terms, and somebody would probably say, that's not the way to explain it, but if you smoke cigarettes over 20 years, you're putting something from the outside in, the result is a cancer, right?
Wakala, yeah.
And again, this is very simple. But however, when you're looking at how we raise our children from what we are supposed to do in terms of attachment, attunement, autonomy, meaning we need to be close in the early years. We are supposed to breastfeed our children until they're 4. And yet we have created a society where, hurry up, birth the baby, go back to work,
Yeah, be done in 6 months.
Oh, my God. And right there, when you're looking at that, is why we have when they ask about why are these mental conditions occurring or why is this disruption occurring, well, that's where it is. And the epigenetics of that, it's because that is the generational piece over and over and over again. When you think about attachment, attunement, autonomy, when a child is born and is supposed to be close to its mother, when you look at the ruling class hundreds of years ago, they would have their children and then they would pass them on to the wet nurses, immediately disrupting the connection with the parent. And those became the people that ruled the world.
Right. Yep.
And if you look around the world.
Yep.
So that's the epigenetic piece. And what I'm doing now is I'm breaking that apart in smaller pieces to really help understand, for people to really help understand what they can do in the practical world on the day-to-day to maybe do things differently, especially for their children. But more importantly, also to look at their own selves and understand, oh, my God, I'm struggling, and here's why. Oh, my God, here's how this is affecting me or my life or how I make decisions, how I choose relationships. And by virtue of understanding, being able to make better choices for yourself. So that's my goal in a nutshell, is to be that conduit to facilitate knowledge, as well as practical healing with sound baths. Psychedelics are also very helpful, and gut microbiome, which again,
Right.
It's the whole system. And when you bring everything together, then you have an opportunity to make change. In many cases, lasting change, and also you can reverse conditions.
Absolutely.
So that's
a lot of work.
It is, but it's exciting work. You know,
Yeah.
I
It's like how do you call it? It's valued, it's worthy, it's immediate. It's tangible, and it's different for everyone. It's all situational.
It is and it isn't. For example, to elaborate a little bit further, our hormonal health for everybody, men and women, right? As we age, our bodies, as everything changes, even with our mental health, if you hear about elderly people are more depressed or you hear about these things. And again, I don't think it's being talked about enough, but a lot of it has to do with our hormonal imbalances and then, again, things that we're missing in the body. And from a functional health perspective, the type of tests that we should be running.
Right.
And then what we may want to do to help our bodies get back into a normal state, which is, again, not really what we're doing in conventional medicine.
Yeah.
And so because we have experiences in life and we go through things, I'm going to share about that too. Here's what you can look at. Here are some of the symptoms that you may experience. And here's the real tie to that. For example.
So what's really, I find personally, from my personal experience, what's awful is like being a grown woman who is educated in holistic wellness for thousands of hours, years and upon years, and I'm just super young kid still. But at the same time, I'm educated. I'm 45. I'm a woman. I know that I need to go get my hormones tested because it's what's happening. The doctor says, well, you can't order that. You can't just go and get them tested. I'm like, that doesn't, yes, I can. Like, just give me the test. Well, we have to do an evaluation and we need $150 for your doctor's appointment. We need this and all this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, I just want the test. So it's insane, the disconnect that we've gone with our personal care.
100%. 100%. Well, here in town is a very great provider, especially for women, Rebecca Meek. I don't even know if you've ever heard of her. She's actually a functional health nurse practitioner. I mean, she's a nurse practitioner, women's health nurse practitioner. And actually, I just started using her not too long ago, and that's where I was this afternoon, getting an infusion as well. I'm doing all sorts of things right now to help myself. And focuses on women's health and runs these tests. So I think one of the things is that we have to find the right practitioner because the standard practitioners, you're correct, and they will not do it. They're also not trained in looking at it. They're looking at, I don't feel well. And then they're going down, their prescribed, tree, or for your age group. And it hasn't caught on yet. It hasn't really caught on yet. But what's even worse is for men, in this case for hormonal health, it's even worse because it affects both of us. As an example, 62, perfect blood pressure all my life. All of a sudden, I'm in Washington State and I'm blowing up at 225. We're talking, stroke level. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I can't have that. Long story short, I refused. I didn't want to take any medication for that and said, well, because I have every side effect, and sometimes the side effects with that medication can be stroke as well, either stroke this way or that way.
Yeah, so why not do...
Let me try the other, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything right away, long story short. Then I came and started to study. So, for example, progesterone, when you lose progesterone, it literally constricts the veins around the heart, which increases your blood pressure. This is why so many women after age 60, or when they say heart attack, isn't it?
Yeah. Mom...
Right. So I was the one that said, I'm going to age naturally. I was not going to take any hormones.
Right.
Thousands of women have done it a million years. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Well, let me get started on that. Certain things started to feel like a knife was stabbing me. It was just, I couldn't even believe what was happening to the body. Yeah. Brain fog. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I couldn't remember where I was like, we're talking about not feeling good mentally. It was all, and I didn't know. I didn't know. So the blood pressure was the warning. In this case, Rebecca Meek, and then reading about it, and then I started to attack it, I should say. I started to look at, okay, what do I do? So progesterone, estradiol, testosterone, doing all that, and blood tests to see if I'm actually metabolizing. And right now we're learning some I'm not properly metabolizing. your gut microbiome, there's certain reasons why you may not with be able to process supplements properly. And then we went with supplements, though, for the blood pressure and cardio health. And guess what? I clocked in at 129. I was so excited. I showed her today. I said 129 over 89.
Nice.
All natural, all with bringing the body back into its space.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
62. This is where people say this is not achievable. So I would like to talk more about breaking that down. Same thing for men. So, on a more targeted level, I can give more information, and learning about that is just, I think it's key. I mean, and I feel so much better. I can remember things again. Yeah. Well, although I didn't know where I was going, but
that's different.
But and the feeling of well-being, because we age. And we live our lives and we just plow through it, we're chasing. And then all of a sudden, we're also like a rubber band. It's all gets to be too much. It gets to be too much. Yeah. So we have to slow it down. But anyway, so that is just these lessons that I'm learning. And the traditional methods are, we're going to put you on some blood pressure medication. And by any means, when I say to people, this is my experience, check with your medical provider. Don't
always.
We're not. I'm not trying to say don't see your doctor. I saw a doctor and I saw a licensed nurse practitioner, and I worked with medical professional. But I worked with a medical professional that also was in line with my thinking of natural healing.
Right.
But also will use medication. So it's a combination.
Exactly.
That's what I was looking for.
Fine balance.
Right. Because I'm not throwing out good medicine.
No.
Antibiotics we need. There's certain things that absolutely medicine has given us, and we would be idiotic to ignore it.
No, it's an evolution that we've earned.
But we've walked away from frequency healing, like sound.
Yeah.
There is a Stanford study that just published that sound frequencies can regrow heart tissue after surgeries.
Absolutely.
So how can we discount that in the medical field? And we are, right? You get it in some therapies right now, but again, no insurance pays for that, blah, 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 blah. Now, how do we make that accessible? How do we bring that in to where insurance pays for that? But anyway. Yeah.
It's happening. It's a process. We are on the Quality Living Show, with Peaceful Support here. I'm Amanda Whittemore, and we are talking with Gabriele Whyard.
Gabriele Whyard.
Whyard.
Yeah.
Whyard. Gabriele Whyard.
Just Gabriele.
Gabriele.
Yes.
And so with the healthcare industry and the whole process of where we've been, where we're going, where we are. Just last week, I was invited to the Wellness Week at the Sutter Coast Hospital. And the chief nurse called, said that she needed me to show up and teach breathwork and meditation to the entire staff of the hospital.
Nice.
They gave me a courtyard, they gave me a room, and I thank them all so much for their time and energy. And I think that's what it is. It's just education. We show those that are in the industry how much they get relief from it, and then they can refer it, and it will start going back to its natural rhythm as it has always. But it's like us, we've experienced it, and those who have experienced it, go ahead and just get on the radio show just like we are and keep doing all these things and keep the education alive. And that's the way that, we will really make it. We are making a difference right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Absolutely. And listeners, call in 541-661-4098. And you can, even if the show's passed and you're just like randomly thinking, oh, I know what I want to ask or what I want to say, we're here anytime.
Absolutely.
And do you plan on staying in Brookings?
Yeah. So actually right now what I'm working on is I'd like to put together a program, if you will, where I can offer my services, the sound healing, the somatic psychedelic facilitation. In that sense, right now, I'm just doing the integration piece as the intention and integration, because I don't have my Oregon State license, but I would work with an Oregon State licensed trip sitter, if you will, and also the functional health gut microbiome coaching, bringing that together. and was probably interested in even maybe working with your studio a little bit.
The Peaceful Support Yoga Studio?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, with the sound healing.
Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely would love to do some of that, and then also work with private clients, I should say, not patients. People, anybody that might need some help.
Yeah.
Just to go work through whatever issues they might have. I work a lot on the trauma sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's sexual trauma, whatever. Most of us have deal with a lot of trauma, and as a result, that's why we have issues. So I like to work with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And so I'm going to possibly look for a space, probably first co-locate, and then maybe eventually look for a space here to set up shop. Right now, I'm a traveling sound healer. That means I will come to you.
Yeah.
I set up shop in people's home or find a space where they might want to meet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We love that. That's how we all do that around here. It works good because honestly, so I even the hospitals and the nursing homes, what are they called? End of life.
Mm-hmm.
End of life. I'm end of life doula, but I'm honest. Like, it might be called a elder care facility or whatever. I don't know what they call them. They're the places where they send their elders that are going to die, and they think that that's their safe place where they're just gonna. I don't know. It's so sad. I just want to say, listeners, if you have not gone to any of our care facilities in this area, that's what we call them, care facilities. If you have not been there recently, I've been recently. I volunteered and gave about 23 people a yoga class, a movement class at one of the care facilities. And they were on so much medication just to be like, it was so sad. And you could tell, like, with one simple little touch of the knee or one little, hey, how are you? Move your arms. All right, let's breathe. Mm-hmm. They got these smiles and their arms moved and their feet tapped. And even people across the room who weren't even right there, and the music that was playing, they just need human stimulation. They're just sent to be in these isolated spaces, and it's just so depressing. And they would love sound healing, is what I'm trying to say.
And actually that's exactly what I want to do, as to go and bring that into that space. And it's because we know what it can do, and just when you hold the bowls, I like to walk around with the bowls. I like people also touching. The other day when I did one, I had the bowl sitting on the person's body, on the heart itself, because feeling the vibration is just too sweet.
Do you have bowls we can stand in?
I am looking at one. It might come for Christmas. There's one more that I'm trying to add right now. I thought I purchased a flute, but I don't know if that place is actually going to be able to ship it, so I have to get another one. But I was getting a drone flute.
Yeah,
and which is one of those flutes that they only has 4 holes, and then it's the sound of the indigenous is beautiful. But anyway, I always add different pieces to my sound equipment that I have, because I want everybody to have kind of a full experience. But I really like working with a yoga person as well. And when I do ceremonies, it's always nice to have more than one person, like somebody else might read the cards. And it's hard to do it all on your own.
Of course.
So I always like to work with, okay, you can help me with this.
Yeah,
let's
community.
Do it together.
It's fun.
Yes.
We love it.
Okay.
Well, here on the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program, we like to ask our guests, how do you define quality? Because it is the Quality Living show. So just we've had, this is like 105th show. I can't remember. Never a repeated answer.
Okay.
So, I mean, you just let us have it.
For me, quality is living your authentic self. Authentic self, I think, is quality for me, because where you vibrate at a space that you feel warmth and love. That's where quality lives for me.
That's
where you
so yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum.
that's quality for me.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for making it out here on such a crazy night and making it to the studio and sharing with us your life experiences and what you had happen and how you got here and your goals. And we're, as listeners, super appreciative, and you're always welcome in anytime.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, and we look forward to having you at the Peaceful Support Yoga Studio.
Okay. And if anybody would like to reach out to me,
Absolutely.
you can reach me at Gabriele at myhumantribe.com, which is MI and then humantribe.com, or directly through my webpage, which is also myhumantribe.com. And there is a Contact Us page. You can reach me through that. Phone number is also available at 540-686-2315. And let me double check that because I don't call myself too often.
Right?
Yes, that is correct. So, yes, thank you. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. And if there's anything we can do, you just let us know. And is there any last bit you wanted to say to the audience?
Thank you for listening, and we look forward to meeting many of you in person and giving everybody a wonderful, warm hug, lots of love, divine feminine, I like to say, and more to come.
Absolutely. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program. I am Amanda, and we just spoke with Gabriele
Whyard.
Whyard. I love it.
Thank you.
And I like the way it's spelled.
Thank you, Amanda, for having me.
All right. See you again. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.